Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Software Engineer K here, and today we're going to be going through some interesting stuff. So yesterday we covered the link between Pixion Games and VeVe, and today what I want to touch on was another link between VeVe and an analytics company which is also tied to Pixion Games. And this links to what Cam Punia, the founder of Pixion, said. He kept mentioning the word dive, kind of like, very obviously. So some may have noticed if they decide to kind of dig around and find out what dive meant. But I just wanted to share that with you guys who may not be aware. I did also want to touch on the issue affecting Trust Wallet users as well. And just to wrap up with the price for today. So firstly, for those who aren't aware, Cam Punia, he is the founder and CEO of Pixion Games. And he's also an investor and advisory board member of Ecomi. Now, Pixion Games, there are some links between that and Ecomi, as some people have found. But specifically, he has mentioned the word dive on multiple occasions. And if you actually look up Dive, the company, it is a game studio data problem. Well, it's an analytics company that solves the problems that game studios have with regards to, just analyzing consumer data. And if we just scroll down, have a look, we can see, oh wow, one of their clients is Pixion Games. So that just puts a lot of stuff into perspective. What exactly does Dive do? How are they working with Pixion? And how does that link back ultimately to VeVe? Now, let's just have a look and see what some of the stuff that Dive does is. So, built from the ground up for games. Now, Dive, designed by 20-year game veterans with experience scaling games. So they don't build data by volume. Our platform encourages studios to throw all the data they need into the problem of good decisions. And then some stuff about data ownership, privacy, custom insights. Okay, so yeah, they've got some data metrics that they can use, advanced game economy balance. Okay, so a lot of this stuff, like, how you price things in games, like they provide you like raw data in order to help you make those decisions, which I think is going to be very, very useful for VeVeVerse. Data centralization, real-time data validation. Ooh, what's this? Ensuring top data, okay, basically data integrity. Custom data connectors, professional services, expert data team with strong focus on service and support for the game's data lifecycle. So they have massive amounts of experience in terms of, using and managing data within games. Now, for those who aren't aware, data is probably, nowadays people describe it as digital gold, because if you have a look at companies such as Cambridge Analytica, they were able to essentially leverage data in order to get certain politicians into office. And there was this whole kind of scandal with how they targeted certain demographics as well, through using all of this data that they had essentially mined off of social media. Now, yes, some people, they're against having the data shared. And if you're in a game, maybe you might against having your data, farmed in the game. But I'm pretty sure, when you first sign up to VeVe, there's certain terms of services there where you agree to have your data used for whatever. So yeah, probably worth reviewing that. But Cam Punia, he is, he's mentioned Dive, and I believe that Dive will work very well hand in hand with Roger and Cohen, because Roger and Cohen have said themselves that they are targeting their PR strategies based on data. Dive will allow you to analyze data from within games. If you can identify certain consumer behavior within your game, then you can kind of use that to bring on board more users through a targeted data-led approach. So Dive is a very, very good partnership with Pixion, and which extends, to VeVe as well. Now, what I did also want to touch on is just a quick update on the Trust Wallet issue. So today, there was basically an issue that was affecting Trust Wallet users. I put out this tweet. Users are reporting not seeing OMI in their Trust Wallet, most likely a visual bug. Since you can check transactions on GoChain Explorer, all looks fine for everyone who checked. Just give it time to resolve itself. And that's pretty much what happened. I knew it was a kind of visual bug just because I had a look at GoChain Explorer, nothing had changed. So This kind of stuff happens. I know it's happened on Ledger Live before with Neo. All you had to do was kind of like resync up the app and that was it. But again, some people, they kind of jumped into the world of crypto without actually understanding, you know, blockchain or basic tech or any of that stuff. And, you know, they assume that they've been hacked. And then they start telling other people, hey, you know, OMI's been hacked. And then, you know, those who don't know any better will start, you know, spreading those rumors around. And yeah, that's essentially how literally FUD starts. So my advice is it's worth kind of doing the Binance Academy courses if you're kind of like new to crypto, or, you know, if you kind of don't understand what's happening when these things do happen. Now, lastly, what I did want to touch on was the price of OMI for today. Now, we have been seeing a bit of an interesting movement. So if I just zoom in now, we were just kind of like trading along this trend line here, and we broke right at this point here, which I thought would be a good breaking point. So right at this intersection, and then we start to come back down, but we are still on this trend line that we drew earlier. So we can see that we had the touch here, here, and we've touched again. Now, what do I predict is going to happen next now that we've touched this trend line? If we do follow this trend line, I believe we should now recover and move upwards back to this area of support. So let's just have a look. So I believe we are looking at around about this kind of 0.34, 0.35 cent range. I think that is going to be, you know, a pretty good solid range of support. Now, once we pass that, we can then move on to 0.4 again, and then head up back to 0.5. And I personally see that coinciding with Comic-Con. That's my prediction. But, you know, whilst it's hanging around here, this is probably a good region for, you know, anyone to kind of continue dollar cost averaging. I am going to just carry on dollar cost averaging until OMI hits around about 1 cent. Then I'll look to probably focus on other areas. But we can see, you know, the past month we've had some really good recovery. You know, we came up, we hit this area from the Marvel news, came back down, built up some support, and then continued back to the upside, came back down. Now we're building up some support, and I believe we will continue back up to the upside. So pretty good stuff in terms of OMI's market structure. But, you know, I would personally not, you know, FOMO whenever you hear any kind of good upcoming news. Just carry on dollar cost averaging from, you know, whatever's happening right now. That's my personal strategy. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to go through with you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe to support the content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.